All right, here's the deal. You know you should be doing Facebook ads to bring new leads into your business and be able to create that scalability that you crave. But you don't know what you need to have in place so that you don't waste any money. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm actually going to walk you through the 5 things that you absolutely must have in place before you ever spend a single dime on any Facebook ads or any type of advertising ever. Just don't do it unless you have these 5 things. Now, if you don't know me yet, if we're not best friends just yet, my name is Genevieve Rochelle. I am the owner of Sparkle and Scale, a Facebook advertising agency that helps freedom-focused course creators and coaches be able to massively scale their online business with high converting ads and funnels. 2 really important things there. So I'm actually here to help you create a sustainable marketing strategy that allows you to stand out from really that boring sameness that we see every single day in and day out here in the digital marketing world, while being able to generate more leads, more sales, more time freedom, more of really whatever you want. So without further ado, let's dive into these 5 things. And you probably have some of them in place somewhat, but let's just go into it so that you know before you spend any money at all or even set up your pixel for Facebook ads, here's what you need to have. Now, number 1 is you need to know who your human is. And I'm guessing that if you've been in this online digital space for a while, you probably have done about 872 ideal client avatar exercises, right? I mean, it's part of every business course that you take. Every coach that you work with is going to make you do it. You know who your person is, right? Her name is Gina. She's 32. She loves to get a mocha frappuccino, extra large grande, with sprinkles on top at Starbucks on Wednesdays when she takes her kids to soccer practice. You know about her, right? But when it comes to really getting in depth about your ideal client, you really need to go way beyond the demographics, and especially those things like Starbucks that nobody really cares about, right? Those don't have anything to do with what you're trying to sell, probably. But you really need to know your person in depth. You need to know, especially as it pertains to your offer or your core offer, or even your free thing that you're trying to get someone to sign up for. What are the things that they're struggling with that this thing is going to help them with? And what are their actual thoughts around this problem that they have? So knowing this person and knowing, like, as it pertains to you and your solution that you offer, like, what are they saying and what other solutions are they trying? Do they even know that they have a problem? And if they do know that they have a problem, do they know that there are solutions out there? Do they know that there are things like you create that help them? And if they are aware of that, are they trying other competitors for things? So really getting more in depth and starting to think about, like, how are they actually feeling around this issue? How are they feeling when it comes to what you help with? And not just knowing, like, that they are on a keto diet, unless in fact you're trying to sell them a keto diet, right? Like, then that's different. So start to think of and differentiate really, like, what are those kind of silly things that don't really matter about their personality, and kind of really dig more into those pain points and those parts of their lives that really do relate to how you can help them. Now, number 2, it goes right along with knowing your ideal client, and that is your target audience messaging. So really being able to have your copywriting and your messaging to speak to that ideal person is going to be key. And this comes along with being able to do market research and actually talk to people and ask them. So if you have previous clients or previous people that you've worked with that have told you, use their exact words. Use those things that they're actually saying and not exactly what you think they're saying, right? So if you're talking this over sometimes with other business friends, it's easy to be like, yeah, I think that they're really tired of being on diets, right? And maybe you're a health and marketing coach or health and wellness coach that markets to women, who have gained 20 pounds in the last year, and you think they're tired of being on diets, but really they're just tired of not being able to button their pants. And that's their real issue that they're saying. So you really have to get out of your head and more into their head. So if you can do, like I said, market research, take their actual words, be able to listen to what they're saying, and use that in your messaging, it's going to really turn the globe to where they're reading your content, they're seeing your copywriting, and they're thinking, their brain is exploding, right? And they're like, how did she know this? How did she know that's exactly my issue? Now, number 3, you have to have something that the market actually wants, not something that you think they want, because you're the expert, right? You always think, it's easy to think like, oh, I know what my audience wants. I know what's going to help them. And we do. Trust me, we really do. But they don't know that's what they need. So we actually have to give them something that they want. And that goes for your core offer. Maybe you're trying to sell them into some type of program or coaching or something like that. But it also goes towards your free thing. So if you're trying to get them to sign up for a lead magnet just to get on your email list, that also has to be something really great that they want. And you can do market research and ask them, right? If you're already talking to them and getting into those pain points and seeing what they're struggling with, and also don't just say like, what are you struggling with? But like, you can ask them, like, ask them what they want, ask them what kind of products would help. And then, you can give them what they say they want along with what they actually need to help with the issue. Now, number 4 is you need to have a smooth user experience. Now, this is where your funnel and kind of back end things come into play. And a lot of people think like a sales funnel, that sounds complicated, right? I don't want complicated funnels and things in my business. But if you think of your funnel as just from the journey that someone discovers you, maybe they see you on social media or they discover you through an ad, to the point where they become a customer of yours, well, that's the funnel, right? It just has a fancy word for it. So they need to have a smooth process. Whatever that process is that you decide it is, it needs to be smooth, it needs to be easy, it needs to be a no-brainer for them. So if I'm clicking through an ad and I end up on someone's website where, they told me if I click here, I'm going to get this free guide to 10 recipes that I can, get started easy on the keto diet. And I go to that website and I have no idea what to do next. That's not a smooth user experience. So it really has to be, very easy for them to understand. People have such a short attention span that you need to be able to capture their attention, get their information, and move on. And that sales funnel also includes being able to follow up behind, even if it's a lead generation campaign where you're getting their email, following up with them through emails, right? And having engaging emails in play so that once they're on your list, then you're building that relationship with them. Now, number 5, this is, I say it's last, but definitely not least at all. But it's not the most important thing, because all of these things are like equally important. And I would never run ads without having all 5 of these things in place. But number 5 is having an ad budget that supports your actual strategy. So a lot of people will come into Facebook ads and they'll say, I want to spend $10 a day and I want to get 20 people signed up for my webinar each and every day. And you know what? That budget does not support the strategy and the goals that they want for it, because it's just not enough money. Is it possible to get 20 people signed up for your webinar every single day? Absolutely, but you're going to need a much higher budget. So number 1, having that budget in mind that you want to spend, and knowing what realistically you can get out of that, right? And you don't have to have this huge budget, but you just have to be realistic about the budget that you do have. Now, whenever you're first starting out with Facebook ads, you're really just investing in data and you're just seeing what works. And you can really just gather that data over the first couple of months and find out. And then you can increase your budget if you feel comfortable with it. But knowing what you want to spend, knowing that you're actually using this as an investment to gather data, and having that mind shift switch of like just knowing that that's what the outcome is going to be, not like, oh, I'm going to spend $10 a day on Facebook ads and get really rich, then that's really going to change the overall perspective and be able to allow you to dive into Facebook ads in a way that's comfortable.